Okay. Hello, fellow ramblers, and welcome to the Ramblestream. I hope I don't have any feedback here. We're going to be working on the sound here, and we're really challenging ourselves because this evening we have some guests joining us. So we're going to see how that plays out with the feedback, but we'll see. In the meantime, real quick, tell me how this audio sounds. Is this working all right? Sound is good, according to Kelly. Great. Sound is great so far. From Kyle and Jennifer Stevenson. Hey, good to see all of you all. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. I'll tell you what's going to happen, and then we'll go for it. Yes, as I said, welcome. My name is Richard Worsham, founder and designer here at Janus Motorcycles. And if you are new to the Ramblestream, I like to have you all post up in the comments your name or your handle online, what kind of motorcycle you have, if it's a Janus or not. If it is a Janus, what the serial number is, what number your bike is, where you're from, and what you happen to be sipping on this evening. We do encourage libations. If you're coming back for more of the Ramblestream, this is going to be an interesting one. We're going to try something different here, and we'll see how it works. We are joined this evening we will be by the Felix Brothers, who are from up in Michigan, and they both have 450s. And I won't spoil the story. They're going to tell us more about their story as we get along there, but we're going to be seeing how the technology works, and I hope it doesn't hinder us in terms of bringing all this together and multiple people on the stream at the same time. But this is something that I hope to be able to continue in the future with more of you all, bringing folks on and having this conversation in a more immediate way than just in the comments. So. We do have a lot of stuff to cover this evening, so we'll go ahead and get started. Let's take a quick look at the comments here. I will go ahead and say not be able to cover all of them, but we'll hit some highlights. So we got Scott Spence from Elkhart is on with his 2 bikes sipping rum and Coke. Straw Dog reminds you all to hit the thumbs up. It's a good point. Rowan is in Woodland, California. He had to get back. Short ride today, 25 miles. Had to get back in time to watch and see what's up. Great. Carrie Snedden's on 450, 195, and Halcyon 250, 1043 from the Georgie Shore, sipping on his Cafe Bustelo with a dash of Bailey's Irish Cream. Ray Gates is on number 1055. Brand new to him. We got Russell Peters. Detlef, his bike is in the shop, and he's in a motel, it sounds like. Drinking water. Yes, the sound will be better. Jim Winters, Indiana Dunes, 450, 150. Phoenix 78, and he's also got some other thing, a Griffin in the works. He's sipping it on Two Hearted. We got... Well, I can put these comments up. I always forget. We got Dave Bowen on from the soggy shores of Seattle. 450, number 41, just hiding from the rain with a frosty orange juice and a bowl full of flowers. Wow. Lovely. Straw Dog, number 769, is on Wayward Lane Brewing, Halcyon German Pilsner. Gotta highlight that comment right there. Nice. Joel Yanda is on Halcyon 450 218 Kansas City. Of course, Jordy, as always, is on. We got my fellow ham radio operator N8RAB. He wants an update on the 250 windscreen. Yeah, well, we're gonna be listing it very soon. It's pretty much ready to go. So we're gonna be taking pre-orders on that. We will have that listed, I hope, potentially this week. Kelly Chrisman's on. Oh yeah, Joel says also 450 number 1. Griffin, that is. Charles McGagan, Olaf from the Eastern Shore. He's got a whole gaggle of Jani there. Look at that. 250, 450, 63, 250, Phoenix number 30, Griffin 450 number 4, or better known as the Charlie 450. Drinking oolong tea again. Nice. We got Halcyon 569, N8 RAB. Smoky Mike. Halcyon 250 1020, Wapakoneta, Ohio. Just finished a lemonade. Okay, let's pause there and we'll dig into some updates. We're going to do the poem. But tonight, it is not going to be a poem. Tonight, we're going to return to one of my favorite books that you've heard another section of, another lovely purple passage of, but this is a great one. If any of y'all like, I don't even think you can count this as children's literature. It's just literature. But part of this book that keeps kind of coming back into my mind when I think about rambling. And it's sort of maybe revealing a weakness of ramblers in that we tend to get taken up by different, how should I say this? Passions for different kinds of activities or hobbies, and sometimes they change over time, and they sweep us away, shall we say? And so this is a portion from *The Wind in the Willows*, one of my favorite books of all time, by Kenneth Grahame, with lovely illustrations by E.H. Shepard. But this is a portion where one of the beloved but sort of feckless characters, Toad, is trying to convince his friends, successfully convincing them to journey with him on the road in a beautiful gypsy caravan that he's procured. "Oh, pooh, boating," interrupted the Toad in great disgust. "Silly boyish amusement. I've given that up long ago. Sheer waste of time, that's what it is. It makes me downright sorry to see you fellows, who ought to know better, spending all your energies in that aimless manner. No, I've discovered the real thing, the only genuine occupation for a lifetime. I propose to devote the remainder of mine to it, and can only regret the wasted years that lie behind me, squandered in trivialities. Come with me, dear Ratty, and your amiable friend also, if you will be so very good, just as far as the stable yard, and you shall see what you shall see." He led the way to the stable yard accordingly, the rat following with a most mistrustful expression, and there, drawn out of the coach house into the open, they saw a gypsy caravan, shining with newness, painted a canary yellow, picked out with green and red wheels. "There you are," cried the Toad, straddling and expanding himself. "There's real life for you, embodied in that little cart. The open road, the dusty highway, the heath, the common, the hedgerows, the rolling downs, camps, villages, towns, cities, here today, up and off to somewhere else tomorrow. Travel, change, interest, excitement, the whole world before you, and a horizon that's always changing. And mind, this is the very finest cart of its sort that was ever built, without any exception. Come inside and look at the arrangements. Planned them all myself? I did." The mole was tremendously interested and excited, and followed him eagerly up the steps and into the interior of the caravan. The rat only snorted and thrust his hands deep into his pockets, remaining where he was. It was indeed very compact and comfortable. Little sleeping bunks, a little table that folded up against the wall, a cooking stove, lockers, bookshelves, a bird cage with a bird in it, and pots, pans, jugs, and kettles of every size and variety. "All complete," said the Toad triumphantly, pulling open a locker. "You see, biscuits, potted lobster, sardines, everything you can possibly want. Soda water here, baccy there, letter paper, bacon, jam, cards, and dominoes you'll find," he continued, as they descended the steps again. "You'll find that nothing whatever has been forgotten when we make our start this afternoon." "I beg your pardon," said the rat slowly. "I beg your pardon," said the rat slowly, as he chewed a straw. "But did I overhear you say something about we and start and this afternoon?" Always come back to that one. Okay, let's see. Couple more comments before we move on to some updates. We got Jim Bledsoe from Northeast Ohio, drinking as a good Ohioan Yingling with his Halcyon number 163. Jacob Will, 259.973 from Kalamazoo. Jordan Lake Music. Jordan is part of our flat track team, dialing in from Nashville, Tennessee, and soon to be working on a Griffin 450. David Dixon, good evening. Halcyon 450 number 266, Manitowoc County, Wisconsin. Good to see you, Dave, again. Smokey Mike says, this is a good comment. He says, had a great weekend at LBL with other Janus owners. So this is actually the first report. I haven't seen Charlie yet, but there was the Land Between the Lakes camping trip, Janus camping trip this weekend. So you'll have to report in and tell us how things went, Smokey. Keith Haywood in New York. I bailed last week. Hope the sound is better today. Oh, he bailed on the, I thought you were talking about your bike. He bailed on the Ramblestream because the audio was so poor quality. My apologies to all of you. The software is, I think it was my earbuds, but we'll see. Let's see. Riggedy Alps from the backwoods of Massachusetts. My biking brother said I needed to name my bikes. So Halcyon 450 number 234 has been given a name, Cheyenne. We've been busy planning our trip for the rally in September. Fantastic. Richard Brown says, hey, it's Ricky B here in Minnesota. I was thinking about going on a motorcycle ride up to the Duluth Pack in May. Will anybody from Janus be going there, and what is the time frame for that day's event? Okay, I know the date. I don't have the time frame for the event yet. I think it's the morning. It's a Saturday. It's May 3rd. We will be posting more on that, Richard or Ricky, soon. But yes, there will be folks, representatives from Janus in attendance, and word is from the Duluth team that there will be special gifts for Janus owners that show up. So you should make it. And Duluth is a fun place to ride. Okay, we got everybody's saying the sound is good. Somebody's here. We got Jordy says crispy. Nice. Excellent audio. Great. This is good news. Mark Stevens, hello from Westland, Michigan. Halcyon 250 number 643. Jim Beam and Coke. Jacob's asking if Innate RAB is on the owners group. Carl. Carl's the guy to give us a report from the Land Between the Lakes rally with his 450 number 39. Innate ARB says, so far so good on the sound. KD9 PGT. That's my ham radio call sign. You're like a good ham radio operator. You took that down quickly. There we go. Tom Lathrop, Burlington, Wisconsin. Griffin 250 number 149. Halcyon 250 number 1008. Seltzer water. Okay, we're gonna pause, and because we do want to bring the Felix Brothers on here in a minute. They're waiting. So, and I've got a lot to cover. I'm gonna have to extend the time frame on these. Let's go over to bikes off the stand this week. Here we go. I get this comment off there. There we go. So first up, we have Halcyon. This is a week of Halcyon 450s. We did get some 250s off the stand, but they're waiting on a couple of parts. So I'm just going to talk about the 450s. 258. This belongs to Steven. It's vintage red with copper. It's a double pinstripe, vintage red with ducktail fenders and a chassis matched, frame matched colors. Still waiting on the tank badge with a rear rack. Very nice looking. Interestingly enough, we have another vintage red with copper. This one's actually going to be an inventory build. So this one will be available soon on the site. Gorgeous bike. This is a Origin, as you can tell. So this is a difference. The previous one, that's a full-on, loaded-out 450. This is an Origin, so no fender pinstripe. And that kind of interesting. I really like the Origin style 450 tank logo with just the outlines. Of course, no rack or anything like that. Next up, we have this one is going to be number 264 belonging to Patrick with cream and gold. Again, ducktail fenders, gold, beautiful single gold pinstripe. Really classic bike. Reminds me of my number 68. Next up, we have number 268, Robert. No, we don't. This is not his bike. What number is this one? This one is 269. Let me make sure I'm getting the numbers right here. Yeah, that one was 269. You're getting to see ahead. So number 269, this belongs to Martin and Karen. It's a lovely 450 with single pinstripe in black and gold. The number plate hasn't been painted on yet, so we're waiting on that. Number 268. That was number 268. 268. That was 269. This is Robert. This is a classic one. Charlevoix blue and gold. Again, ducktail fenders, double pinstripe, and a polished stainless exhaust. Actually, I haven't seen as many polished exhausts lately with a rear rack. Lovely. Okay, and then I had to get a detail shot of those fenders, the ducktails with the double gold. Great combination. And last but not least, we have another 450, number 270, belonging to George. This is black and gold with a white. I don't know if you can actually see. It's too blown in, but it's a gold pinstripe with a white secondary. Really snappy looking bike. Great. Okay. Then I wanted to give you a little update on the Brent's bike that's been slowly coming together. This is a brushed aluminum with matte clear coat over it. A new finish that we've been experimenting with a 450 style tank logo in black. Really classic. Look at this thing. Aluminum fenders. Really neat. And then here you go. Here are the skirted fenders. These are going on another inventory bike, which has some fun adventures ahead of it, which I'll share with you all later. But I'm excited about this bike. This is a Indy green with cream skirts. And it's going to have gold pinstripe. Actually, I think I have some shots here of there's the rear fender. Look at that. That's the front. This is the rear. And then here's Kelly was today just laying out. We were kind of figuring out how we want to do the pinstripe. We're only going to do pinstripe on the cream part. And this is going to be a single gold pinstripe. And there it is on the front fender. The front is actually the bottom here down at and that hole in the side of it is where the fork pivots are. There's the airbox for it, cream. Real quick, Grant wanted me to mention we have free shipping. We have some incredible specials right now. And I should actually have done a different order on the announcements here, but if you're in the ambassador program, this is a great time to sell a bike, not just buy one for yourself. So if you have somebody who's been thinking about it, now is the time. We have free shipping on parts, merchandise, and motorcycles. And we have the Ramblers rebate, 30% off of all options. So we just sent out an email blast with more details on this. The code for it is RambleOn for the free shipping. Just type that in at checkout and you'll get free shipping. It combines with the Ramblers rebate, and it's a really, really good deal. So we are selling a ton of bikes, and we are also we are trying to keep it going. We're at this point. How does Grant say it? He says, questions and answers. Over the last several years, like many manufacturers, our costs rose and so did our prices. This year, we're primed to grow our production. Everyone is a little more price sensitive right now, and we are too. We hear that. We want to offer an amazing, one-of-a-kind, lightweight, beautiful motorcycle at a compelling price to our customers. So our real goal this year is to increase our production and our volume, and so you all are the beneficiaries of that. So this is a good time. All right, next up, what do we got? Oh, Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Finally, I've been able to find the time to set up our DGR page. So if you go to our blog, this is on the Janus blog. It's, I think, the most recent blog post. It has all the links. Join the Janus team, please. I guess I should real quickly, DGR is we'll be dressing in our finest on May 19th, and we'll be riding in the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride with fellow men and women across the globe to raise funds and awareness for prostate cancer and men's mental health. We have a Janus team, so if you click on the link, the Janus team link there on that blog post, we can all raise funds together. And last year we raised over $10,000 for the Movember Foundation, which supports men's mental health and prostate cancer research. So a fantastic cause, a really fun event. We will be riding in the South Bend ride, which starts here and goes to South Bend, or actually Granger. So if you're interested, please join us. We'll be gathering here by 9, so get here before then, and then kickstand's up at 9:30. All the information is on our blog, and we'll be sending out an email blast shortly with more info on it as well. So there you have that. Next up, the Chuck Jones Center for Creativity. We are auctioning off, they are auctioning off a bike that we have donated, which is a incredible, yes, you guessed it, Roadrunner Halcyon. This is in Charlevoix blue. This artist, we supplied the bike, and this artist has painted it to Roadrunner spec, shall we say. And we're really excited about it. And so that's going to be auctioned off. The date of that event is April 27th, and it's in Los Angeles at the Chuck Jones, who's the artist of the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, and et cetera, Center for Creativity. And there is more information on that. Where can we find that? I'll post up something in the link to this video. Okay, let's see. Next up, the Duluth event. Sorry, we're getting ahead of ourselves. The Duluth event is May 3rd. We will have more information on exact times when that's happening, but it's going to be really fun. As I said earlier, there will be door prizes for Janus owners that show up on their bikes. We're launching the lovely collaboration Janus Duluth Pack panniers for the 450. We will be taking pre-orders for those momentarily, and they are fantastic. 24-liter bags on each side. So this is a bag set that you can actually travel with. Waxed canvas, matches the aesthetic of the bike. Fantastic. We will be at Sturgis August 1st through 11th for the 84th anniversary of Sturgis Rally, and we will be campaigning a flat track bike I think the actual flat track event is on the 11th, so it's the last day with our 450 Griffin with Jordan Lake and Blake Walton, the amazing team that's working with us to campaign this bike and be competitive. We have trade-ins. You can trade in your bike for a Halcyon 450 or a Griffin 450. So if you have a 250 and you want to trade in, give us a call. We'd like to talk to you. And last but not least, our ambassador program is a really fun opportunity for you to share your love of your Janus with other potential Janus owners. Meet people, show your bike off. And let me actually pull up a little brief description. One of the most fun things about riding a Janus is all the wonderful and interesting people you run into. Plus, riding with friends, old and new, is a wonderful way to enjoy your Janus. We're piloting a new referral program that encourages Janus owners to talk about their motorcycle with prospective riders in your area, all while earning monetary rewards for you and your new riding buddy. If you're interested, sign up below. So this is the fun part. You get $250 in shop credit or $500 towards a new Janus motorcycle if the referral goes through, and the new owner gets $500 off of their build. This can be stacked with any current promo. So stack this with what's going on right now, and you have this is a very good deal right now. There's a lot more information. There is already a link in the description of this video for the ambassador program if you'd like to sign up. To opt into the program, please fill out the form at the link in the video description to register your interest, and we'll be getting in touch with you. It's a lot of fun, and you get to share you don't have to necessarily have somebody ride your bike. You can just show it off. They can ask you questions. They can see one in person. And this map that I have up on the screen here is current Janus ambassadors around the United States. We would love to have you be part of it. So sign up and reap the rewards. Okay. Finally, we've gotten all that out of the way. I'm only 5 minutes late for bringing the Felix Brothers on, so we're going to do that. Now, this is when I'm a little concerned about the audio. So I think what I might do, we're going to try it first. And if I get a really bad echo, I'm going to... Oh, no, I know how to fix this. I just turn this volume off. That's what I do. Yeah. Okay. I think this is going to work just fine. We'll see. Okay. So without further ado, we're going to welcome the Felix Brothers onto the Ramblestream. If I can figure out how to do this. There they are.
All right. Hey, everybody.
Let me turn my volume up. All right.
How's the sound?
Yeah. Tell us how the sound is.
Is it good? Do you guys hear us? How's the sound?
Somebody make a post.
Yeah. Richard, can you hear us okay?
I can hear you loud and clear, and
Yep.
I'm not getting any feedback on my end, and I don't hear any echoes on yours. We have one person that says there's an echo.
Okay. Maybe if we talk a little quieter.
Chris says sound is good.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to proceed, and I'm going to keep an eye on the comments, so just let us know if we have any issues there. But, okay. Dan and Andy, why don't you give us a little self-introduction, tell us a little bit about yourselves, where you're from, what you're sipping on, and what Janus you on.
Well, thank you so much for having us. We're honored to be, I guess, the guinea pigs for the first Ramblestream interview, and we look forward to hearing stories, if this is successful, to hear stories of other people on future Ramblestreams. I'm Andy Felix, one of the Felix Brothers. I have Halcyon 450, 120 right behind me. I'm sipping on a Guinness.
Dan Felix, I have Halcyon 450 number 121, because I was born second, so I get the later number. And I'm also drinking out of Guinness.
Fantastic. Well, let's see. How did you all get into riding? And let's just start there. Like, tell us about how you got into riding. You're kind of like, you're obviously twins. Did you start riding at the same time?
Well, we did actually. So all growing up, we kind of we liked things with motors, and we wanted to ride. I think it was a Spree the neighbor had at the time. And not so long ago, we had this idea. I think, did you convince me, or did I convince you? Or I don't know, we were going to get these bikes, and we found these engine kits online that you can put an engine on a bicycle. So we went to Walmart. We bought these Huffies, in Luso, I think it was, and we got these little 80cc, which 66cc. I think it all depends how it's measured. And we sat in my basement at the time and put them up on tables and put the engines on the bicycles and what do we call it, Harley Davidson or Huffy Davidson or something like that. And that was kind of our first experience, not that long ago. First experience with a twist handle throttle.
Yeah, we didn't grow up around bikes at all. Like, nobody in our family had motorcycles. So it's kind of, we knew we wanted to put a motor on something. Whether it's a bike or a go-kart or something, we knew we just had to have a little small powered vehicle of some sort. So we took these bikes, putzed around the neighborhood.
He took his one step further than me. It was fun riding around the neighborhood, but then
They made street legal, so I had to go to the sheriff's department and get it all street legal.
Nice. Did it have turn indicators and everything?
Yeah.
brake light, a horn, a headlight with high beam. There's a whole bunch of stuff. There's the checklist that they went through, and he made it street legal. And I was driving. I think we were going to the Hudsonville Fair at the time with my family, and we drove right past him on the bike.
We didn't really realize we needed field bikes until I saw myself on video riding that bike.
Yeah, I think
Hey guys, you want to try opening the door and see if that's, because we're getting a pretty good echo.
I'm wondering if the sound of your speakers might be going back into your microphone.
Okay. So fast forward a little bit.
That's
kinda
way better.
really wanted- Is it better?
Yeah.
Good, okay. So seeing him riding on video, I think was the turning point when we decided we should probably,
We gotta do something.
we gotta do something a little bit bigger.
So the start of COVID rolled around and, the local Harley Davidson was offering some courses. And so we thought, let's go take the course. Let's see if we like this. It's like a weekend course. And we did that. It was super fun. Met a lot of cool people. And then you got like we went 25.
We found these, there's these Honda clones all over the place, and we were looking at this little 125 online. It's like $1,000. I mean, you can't go wrong. So I showed my wife, and she surprised me for Christmas. And so it was kind of a joke. She said we were going to look at Christmas lights, and I thought, I got to go along with this. This is all right. We'll go look at the Christmas lights, and we were blindfolded, and she drove. I don't know. Seemed like a half hour and 45 minutes or something like this, driving around all these turns, going through parking lots. So I'm thinking we're going somewhere, and we ended up like 5 minutes away at his house, in his driveway. And we get out of the car and open the garage door, and there's the bike in a box. So we spent a little bit of time putting that together and painted it, made it more like a little cafe racer. And that's kind of what we sort of learned on.
I kind of got started with cafe racer style bikes. So we looked at a couple of old BMW airheads that were in rough shape. So we tore them down and rebuilt them up to kind of some cafe. One was a cafe racer, and one was kind of a scrambler style. One was an R75, and the other was an R80. And once we got our license, I think the summer of 2022, we took the R80, and then he had a Royal Enfield Himalayan at the time. We took him around Lake Michigan. So we cut over, if you're familiar with West Michigan, we got on the high-speed ferry over to Milwaukee, took them all the way up through Door County, Wisconsin. It was like some of the most beautiful scenery. Took it all the way around through the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, back down over the Mackinac Bridge and back home. And that was like we knew like each year we wanted to do a big trip like that of some sort. So I don't know how. I think you found out about Janus first.
One of my coworkers or clients pulled up the website, and I thought this was the most beautiful bikes I'd ever seen. And I'd go through the configurator, and I'd go through the colors and everything, and I thought that'll be the next bike someday, after the Royal Enfield. And so
I think it was a 250 at the time we were looking at. It was just around the time where the 450 was getting launched, and we saw the promo video behind the stage of the 450, and we thought, we got to go look at that bike.
yeah, so we kept talking to our wives about it, and I don't know if they could sense how excited we were, or they just wanted us to shut up. So for our early 40th birthday,
Well, actually, we drove down to Elkhart to actually buy a different bike from a dealer in Elkhart. And he said, well, let's just stop by the Janus showroom. It was a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Let's stop by, see if they're open. They got to be open on a Saturday morning, right? So we show up, we drive all the way. It's like a 2.5 hour drive from where we live. We show up, and we didn't check the hours on the website. So you're all closed, but we walk up to the window, and we see a guy loading some bikes into a van. And he's like, hey, where are you guys from? We told him where we're from. He's like, you guys drove all this way, come on inside. So he took us for a tour of like, this is Woody, yeah.
Oh, so it was Woody. Okay, great.
It was Woody, yeah. So he spent like an hour and a half with us, walking us through every part of the showroom, where you guys produce all your components and stuff. And seeing the bikes in person is unbelievable. It's one thing to see a picture, a video, even a YouTube video of these bikes, but if you see them in person, you really get it. And it wasn't until we took a tour of that shop. In fact, when we left the shop, we went to the dealer at Elkhart. I had to back out of the sale.
Well, we test drove the bike. It was what was it? Continental or something? It was a 650, I think.
It was a Continental GT 650 with the chrome tape.
We went down there. He was going to buy the bike, ready to buy.
I mean, those are pretty sweet bikes.
It is nice.
Test drove it, and we're looking at it, and it's just like, it was not even. It was in a totally the Halcyons that we saw in the shop just an hour before that were in a completely different class.
Yeah.
The quality, the craftsmanship, and you could tell that a handmade bike versus a factory-made bike, it's a completely different experience. So we kind of sat there for a little bit after the test drive. We sat outside and we just kind of looked at each other, and it's like, I think you just said, I can't do this.
Yeah, I had to tell the sales guy, sorry, my mind was made up in a different direction, I think. So, we got that call and we're talking to our wives about these bikes that we saw at the Janus showroom, and we just kind of a couple weeks go by and we just keep talking about them, and we're coming up on our 40th birthday at the time, and our wives kind of started to ignore us. We're like, no, they're not interested. They're telling us about these bikes and showing them these bikes, and finally they spilled the beans and said, okay, you got to shut up about the bikes. For your 40th birthday, we're going to let you buy the bikes as a surprise. So that's how we kind of made our first entry. So we called Mitch, put the money down, and got the bikes, and that's kind of our way that we came upon owning the Janus bikes.
But it was showing up unannounced without checking on a random visit, and then Woody was there.
Exactly.
That's great.
You could peek in the windows, and you had a couple bikes in the windows. But really seeing the Halcyon bikes in person, and then a half hour later comparing them to the other brand bike up in Elkhart was really what made such a difference. Such a difference.
So tell me, how long was it from when you got that first like Huffy Davidson to getting a Janus?
Huffy Davidson was 2016. We got our license in 2020. Started doing the BMW stuff in 2020 to 2022. We placed the order. When did we place the orders? In May of 2022. And then there was a 7 or 8 month wait time at the time because I think they were just launching the bikes. And then right January, I think January 9th was when Woody showed up and delivered our bikes, same day.
Yep.
And,
Dropped mine off at my house, and I've been Allendale down, anybody knows what it is, and then drove 15 minutes and dropped off Dan's bike. And
yeah.
of course, we got all the pictures and all the stuff, and with Woody and.
So what made you switch from the 250, or were you just as soon as you saw the 450, or were you thinking about the 450 all along?
I think sitting on the 450, it's a bigger bike than what the pictures seem to show. It's when you see it in person, it's a bigger bike. Same thing with the 250, it's a bigger bike. I think having the R75 and the R80 with the bigger motors kind of made me think, we want to take the highways. Sometimes when I get up to 70, 80 miles an hour, and we've done that. We really wanted a bike that we could go that fast if we need to. We knew that some of these longer road trips we're going to get on the highways, and we're going to need to go fast. So I think that's kind of what sealed the deal. And the rear suspension.
Yeah, I've done around Lake Michigan without suspension. That was very fast. So we've got several questions here. Jordy says, can they move the chairs to show the motorcycles? They are the stars of the show. So guys, tell us about what you've got on here on these bikes.
Well, okay, so we've optioned them out. We kind of fully loaded them out with the exception of the premium. Can you see me okay? The premium tank. So we got the double pinstripes in copper. We both did the copper. Basically, the only difference of the bike is this is cream and mine's olive. And we got the front fork tie downs, which is crucial. We did the stainless exhaust. We did the saddle bags. Got the cargo rack, which we got the seat on order. I added the fuel bottle holder down here. I put some grip tape on mine, and then an undermount mirror. And then we both did USB port.
A phone mount.
Yeah, what was this?
TPMS.
Yeah, TPMS. Yep.
Are those the like Wi-Fi TPMS? Or Bluetooth?
Yeah,
Is it Bluetooth? Yeah. So for folks that don't know what that is, they can monitor their tire pressure on their handlebar. It's kind of cool.
Yep. Other than that, there's really nothing else. Actually, both of us came from carbureted bikes. You're really only fuel injected, but I came from carbureted bikes, and have a fuel injected bike is a lot easier. It's a lot less tinkering. I do love to tinker, and he does too with carburetors, but these bikes are so simple. You just hop on, you hit the button and go, and there's no, you don't have to change the settings for temperature or altitude, stuff like that. So
Plus, it's so easy to work on. I mean, you could do valves in what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, valves are easy, yeah.
Oil changes are easy. All the maintenance is just so easy.
Yeah. So.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's just tough. Well, cheers, man. We did take these on a long adventure this past summer. We decided to start from actually right here, and we went all the way up north through the full lower peninsula of Michigan, over the Mackinac Bridge, up into Canada, all the way around Lake Huron. We actually jumped on a ferry boat, the Chichimon Ferry, for a little bit, and then all the way back down, came back through the thumb of Michigan, and then went all through kind of the whole east side of Michigan up through the coast, and then back to Mackinac City and back.
So we followed the coast as close as we could get.
Mm-hmm.
There were some spots where there was guardrails and then water right there, which is, can't get much closer than that.
Yeah, and it was about 1,500 miles, about 4.5 days, and it was such a wonderful trip. We brought tool bags with us. You never know if you need tools, and we didn't even have to open them.
I think we looped the chains in a Home Depot parking lot or something like that, or Menards or something, yeah.
I think the only issue we ran into is I got a hornet inside my helmet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
I got that on video too.
So remind us where you're starting. Where did you start?
We're starting from, let's call it Grand Rapids, Michigan, because I don't think anybody knows where Allendale is. So you head north. We went through, I think you call it 37, Highway 37. It's 55 and 65 up north. And we went through Petoskey and all the way up to Mackinac City.
Harbor Springs.
Yep, through Harbor Springs. All the way up to Mackinac City and then across the bridge to, is that St. Ignace? St. Ignace?
Yeah, I think so.
And then you shoot straight up across the UP over to Sault Ste. Marie. That was really cool. Those bridges are almost as fun to go over as the Mackinac Bridge, I would say. And then get a little squirrely. You got to make sure you stay on the outside lanes on the Mackinac Bridge. Otherwise, if you're on the steel grates, it's almost feels like you're on ice. It's kind of a weird thing. So
Yeah, good. You're answering one of our questions here. How did the bridge crossing go?
You know, we were worried about that with the wind. It was a little windy when we crossed over it. The good thing about these bikes is there's no plastic shrouds to be a sail to catch the wind. So the wind actually goes right through the bike. So it really was a non-issue. Being a 360-pound bike, you always think, how's the wind going to be if you're driving next to a semi or going over a bridge, and it's really not an issue. So
Nice. So then, you went up to the UP, and then back down across the bridge and down the east side of Michigan.
nope, we went north, up over the bridge, through the UP, up into Canada.
and then took Canada over across the top of Lake Huron.
Sault Ste. Marie. So I guess Sault Ste. Marie has a U.S. half and a Canada half.
Yep.
So we went through Sault Ste. Marie up into Canada, headed east, and that was going through some parts of. So if you head east in Canada, I forgot what the highway is, but at some point you head south to go to Manitoulin Island. That's where the ferry boat is. That trip heading south there, it felt like we were going through the Smoky Mountains or something. They must have had dynamite, and you look on both sides, and there's just rock cliffs that go up probably 80 to 100 feet, I would guess. And some of it kind of snaked in between some of the rocks, and it was. I think we got that on video too.
Yeah, it's really like from I think you pronounce it Espanola, from Espanola to what's the island called? Manitoulin Island.
Yeah, there's a city. I forgot what.
It's that whole stretch of road. It's real windy and it's really amazing.
Mm-hmm. And then the ferry boat goes to Tobermory, which is kind of on the northwest side. It's kind of like this little. I don't know, I'll call it a pinky because I'm so used to living in Michigan. We do everything, tell you where you live on the hand, so. And then we followed the coast there down from Canada and stayed in a little hotel. So we didn't really have anything planned. We just took off, and wherever I guess planned maybe the day before where we're going to stay.
Yeah, we knew we were going to take 5 days, 4.5 days to do it. We kind of planned out the first 2 days. We got around Lake Huron and the weather wasn't looking too good. South where we wanted to go, so we thought, well, let's just head north. That's basically how we went up through the whole east coast of Michigan. We were supposed to go south because there was a restaurant we wanted to go to, but it was raining out there, so we thought we don't want to get trapped in the rain. So let's just go north. It was so less, really 2.5 days were kind of wherever we felt like going, and
So that's when we made our way all the way back, followed the coast of the Thumb and all the way up, back into Mackinac City, where we were the first day, eating at the same restaurant, ordering the exact same food.
oh, it was amazing. Yeah, and that's kind of how we got the name, like racing the sun. So we find ourselves like just seeing how far we could go before the sun sets, like just racing the sun.
Well, let's pause there for a second because I wanted to talk a little bit about that. That's just the idea of how you're planning the ride. Seems like there's different ways you can do it. You can plan every minute of it, but one of the things that I talk about in the Rambler's Companion actually is leaving things fairly open-ended for a successful ramble, because if you try and plan every single thing, then a rainstorm, a flat tire, or can slow you down, or you won't be able to take a diversion up that road that looks kind of fun or whatever. So
It's more pressure too. If you've got all these things planned out, now you're on a time limit. You have to be to a certain place at a certain time, and you can't take detours. You can't take all the side stuff. Oh, I want to see that. No, sorry, I can't. I've got to be to a certain hotel at a certain time or a certain campground at a certain time, and it takes a lot of the relaxing part out of it.
absolutely. So then you mentioned your how you had to describe yourselves, and tell us about that. The your Instagram and your video work.
Oh, we kind of just started it. So we thought about this. We always kind of wanted to do like video content, kind of record what we did, kind of as a hobby kind of thing. And so we were like, okay, what name should we think of? It's kind of the hardest part, thinking of the name, right?
We have all this video. It's like it's on a storage device somewhere. Like, what are we gonna do?
We don't know what to do with it.
We got to do something with it.
So now, what do we do on our trips? We finally just like, well, we keep racing the sun as far as we can go. So okay, we're racing the sun. That's kind of catchy. It doesn't look like it's taken. We'll take it. So we got a little bit of content out there. Our plan is to really start to get more content. We're just kind of at the beginning stages of all the stuff, trying to see what works and what doesn't. So, and it's not really all about the video stuff. It's just kind of our hobby, but we want to capture some stuff and just throw it out there for others to see.
Even if we stay around town, I'm always looking at the weather, and I look at the sunset time, and it's like, okay, I factor in, okay, I have that half amount of time is how far I can go. So if you look, let's say it sets in 2 hours, okay, I can go an hour away and then an hour back and make it back in time.
Yeah, like last weekend we just went to Kalamazoo. Like, well, let's see if we can go to Kalamazoo and back. Okay. About
Very
an hour and a
cool.
half there, hour and a half back. Gonna bust around a little bit. It's like
Even yesterday, yeah, last night we went over to Grand Haven, which is a port town, just west of here. Like, oh, we got time, we can make it, let's do it.
Nice. I was actually on a ride yesterday evening, and I was not riding a Janus, actually. A bunch of guys we were on dual sports and riding north, and I saw this little, I was on, what was that? On 31? I can't remember what I was on, but anyway, riding north, and I saw this piercing LED headlight coming my way, and I'm like, I wonder that's like a really small bike. And they were moving too. It came zoomed by, and all I caught was the profile of a Janus saddlebag.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, did you see that? It was really cool. But
Really cool.
yeah.
But most of our rides, I mean, on a weeknight like this, after work and stuff, we know we're gonna ride, we just have no idea where. We just take off in a direction and see how far we can get.
And we have intercom systems, and we get on the bikes, we start them up, they're ready to go. We're like, where do you want to go? I don't know. Where do you want to go?
I pick. You pick. Well, you pick.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
I think those are some of the best rides there's organized where you say, hey, I have, like you all said, 5 days. Let's do something big. And then there is some planning that goes into that. There has to be. And that's really fun. I've done some wonderful rides in Indiana and elsewhere that are like that. But I think the kind of ride that the short ramble that you have, I've got an hour or an hour and a half, or like yesterday, we had 2 hours. And I wanted to get back and do yard work or whatever. And we're like, we got 2 hours. Where do you want to go? And then let's go north. And let's find as many gravel roads as we can. And in my experience, that's some of the best riding I've ever done because you find stuff and you like, especially when you're trying like Southern Michigan gravel roads, you've just run into the wackiest things sometimes that you weren't expecting, or you end up on a gravel road that's a dead end and you talk to the farmer and he says, nope, got to turn around. But what kind of bike are you riding? And it's just really, really, really neat. So, so folks, if you're interested, I highly recommend the Felix Brothers, their Instagram. Do you do anything other than Instagram, YouTube or anything?
We got some stuff on YouTube, but it's kind of just like our beginning stuff. We need to get some more stuff out there. Mostly Instagram right now. It's just Racing Sun Moto. She's got a handful of videos out there for now. But stay tuned for more content throughout the spring and the summertime. We lost your audio.
I'm trying to make sure that I'm going to see if I can post this and then here we go. Boom. Nope. Wrong comment. Here we go. Racing the Sun. That's the handle on Instagram. But I did.
The Sun Moto.
Yeah, Racing the Sun.
Yeah, Racing the Sun Moto.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
You'll probably find
So,
it either way.
there we go. Technology. There we go. Racing the Sun Moto is the handle. But I did accidentally click on a question from Richard Brown. How many miles did you average before gas stops on the 450s?
Good question. So we run ethanol-free fuel, and we have an app called Pure Gas, and it's got a map, and it tells you what stations have ethanol-free fuel. Obviously, it's not required, but that's just what we do. We were averaging, we would stop every, 70 miles?
I think it was between 75 and 80 miles, which was like 115 to 125 kilometers in Canada. But yeah, we did about 75, 80 miles, and the light starts to come out when you're coming to a stoplight. And then we found ourselves putting a little over a gallon in each time.
Yeah. So we had plenty left, but
You had some left.
We were never really low that we thought, that we're in danger.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes up there in Michigan, though, you're like, I think I might just go ahead and fill up here.
Yeah.
Just to be safe.
The app was really helpful.
Yeah. This guy loves gas station food, so we're constantly stopping.
Oh, constantly.
Just scarf it down.
Always hungry.
What was the name of the app?
Pure Gas.
Pure Gas. And it's just for ethanol free.
It's like a little blue circle. Icon.
Cool.
Yep.
But if you have to, of course, you don't have to run ethanol free in your bike. They'll run on anything, but the ethanol free just ensures that if you do stop and leave the bike, with some of that gas in there, it won't gunk anything up. But it's always, if you have the opportunity, why not use ethanol free? So I have to be honest, I don't, but very cool. Well, this has been awesome. I think probably we can improve our audio a little bit, and I don't know exactly what we'll take to do that, but it sounds like people can hear relatively well enough to understand what y'all are talking about and what I'm talking about. But I really appreciate you joining us. Are you going to be planning at being at the Janus Owners Rally this year?
We already got tickets.
I think we're the first batch of 20.
I think as soon as
Nice.
it was announced, we bought the ticket. Yeah.
All right, so
we
if
went
you,
to last year, and it was a phenomenal time. It was so entertaining. The nail game on the wood, watching Mitchell crash.
Hammerschlagen?
Yeah, we got the almost wiping out.
It was so much fun. So much fun.
well, if you would like to meet these new celebrity guests, come visit our Janus Owners Rally, and you too can meet the Felix Brothers. It'll be a lot of fun. So there's one more question. Jeff Massey says, what do you guys use to keep your tanks from getting splashed with fuel? I use a terry cloth.
Look
Here,
at
let
this
me-
down. So we bought some leather pieces on Amazon. It was a 12 by 24 piece. So it's just a leather piece like this. And I think this is exactly a 50 millimeter hole. So-
It's perfectly snug around the.
And
Oh, it's actually snug.
It's a press fit kind of. So just a piece of leather. And it's a 50 millimeter ball, I got a metal hole punch from Amazon, punched it, and it fits really perfect, just perfect in there.
Very cool. And then David Hunter says, are they twins?
Unfortunately, yes.
Very
Yes,
cool.
yeah. He's the older one. He's 3 minutes old.
And do you have the lower serial number?
Yeah, I got
Okay.
120, he's got 121.
Makes
And I had
sense.
to wait 3 minutes to order mine. Just
Very cool. Well, Andy and Daniel, thank you so much for humoring me and joining us and being guinea pigs for this. So,
Thanks for
thank you
having
all.
me.
I think I'll plan on doing this fairly regularly. Sometimes if I've got like a big topic to cover, we'll not have guests, but this is really fun, and we'll do it again. So again, thank you both, and I will see all of you all. Let's see, today's the 15th. Yes, I will see you next week. The following week, I will be out of town. Let me just double check the calendar here. Yeah, next week there is a Ramblestream. The week following there won't be. So there you have it. All right, well, ramble on. See y'all later.
Yeah.
Next week.